Yeah, I think the goals were all very good goals. I think not only the finishes but the build-up, but I think secondly, scoring that second goal so quickly is something that we've just not been able to do. And to be able to do that and then come out in the second half and score so early in the second half was if you could write a game plan and write how you'd want a game to go, I think that would be exactly it. The good thing was we came in at half-time and we weren't happy because some of the things that we pride ourselves on we hadn't done really well. So that was even more rewarding, I think. So, yeah, I think, one, creating as many chances as I can remember us creating, but I think Portland, North Carolina and Chicago, we did that. But to actually finish it and a clean sheet, you couldn't have written it any better.
The goals is going to be, but yeah, that clean sheet. I mean, on a night where you did score as many goals as you did, I guess you would still be happy that you got the clean sheet.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, this stretch has been so tough for us. July was hard, but I think the hardest games have been these last three, and not because of the fact that we haven't got the points we wanted out of them, just because we felt we'd played well enough to get more out of the games. You know, when I've got the opposition coaches telling me that we should win the games, it's like, okay, great, thanks, appreciate it. But to actually come out and put on a performance that we know we can do and get the result that we so desperately needed, I think says a lot about the team. And, you know, we'd been really brutally honest after the Chicago game. We had a long chat in the locker room, which we don't normally do, just to say, look, this is it, do or die now. And I don't think we're in a scenario where we have to win every game, but we had to come out tonight and win. And we said it before the game and said, look, there's nothing else but 3 points is going to be enough for us tonight. And it sets us up to be able to go to the rain on Sunday in a much better place than we were 4 hours ago, which was what we wanted.
We talked a little bit about kind of like the Press and Rodriguez partnership and kind of how that's hasn't gone the way it's wanted, whatever. Tonight, obviously, Kristen with 2 goals, Amy with 1. How does this performance kind of portend anything that you can kind of see going throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think me, Amy, Kristen and Vero actually had a conversation on Monday and said, look, what do you need? You know, what do you guys need? Because I can communicate that to everybody else. But the reality is those 3 are going to be the ones that really take games to other people. And, you know, they were really honest to say that in a lot of ways, Vero is the linchpin for them too, really, that she's going to be the one that creates the opportunities for them to play. And we knew tonight that it was going to be a little bit different just because having Steng in that position was sort of like a little decoy to get Vero on the ball more, and I think it worked. And I think that the way that our formation is and the way that we play, it's not going to be Kristen to Amy goal or Amy to Kristen goal, but can the other one take a little bit of the limelight to create space for the other one? And I think that Amy's taken a lot of the brunt of that this year. And, you know, you speak to other teams and they're like, when Kristen's not there, you stop A-Rod, and we know that it makes it really difficult for your team, but you can't stop both of them. You can't. And A-Rod gets a lot of pressure around her because they know what she can do, but that then frees up Vero, it frees up Kristen, and then vice versa. And I thought that it was great tonight that they both got on the score sheet.
You mentioned Steng. Obviously, you made that change. What was it, just to try to get more?
I think that
going forward, or?
Yeah, a little bit, and I think that just we know the way Sky Blue play, and we knew that we were going to have a lot of the ball, and when we have a lot of the ball, we want to be able to get our more attacking players on the ball more. And a lot of games, Portland, North Carolina, I think that you know that you're going to be under pressure a little bit. So maybe it's not a game to be able to do that. But I felt this was one that we could have really attack-minded players all over the place. And you know, Gunny and Desi are that solid rock for us all the time. But I didn't think we needed both of them the whole game. But I knew that Gunny coming on was going to be vital to close out the game, and I thought she did really well at doing that when she came on.
I'm wondering if you have a status on Kelly O'Hara.
Kelly O'Hara. She tweaked her ankle at the Victory Tour. And we don't have a timeline as of yet. But we're hoping it's not. We're taking really strong precaution right now to try and minimalise any long-term impact. Unfortunately, it's happened when we've got 7 games in 20 days or whatever. I don't know, we've got 4 games in 2 weeks. So I think those games might be difficult for her to get back for. But I think we're going to try and be really protective now, so that hopefully maybe the back end of this stretch she might be available for. But I honestly have 0 timeline right now.
You mentioned that, I think last year you said something like stupid amount of games in a stupid amount of days or something. Do you feel like this stretch, and how do you deal with this?
Just standard NWSL, honestly. I think that 3 games in 7 days or whatever it is difficult. It's more difficult when you travel. Thankfully, this one's short, going to Tacoma, but it's this game was the most important game. Sunday's game's the most important game, and that's how we have to look at it. Then we get a little breather, and honestly, right now it's more about rest and recovery than it is about training. It's rest, play a game, rest, play a game, and I think that we need to do that over the next 3 days in preparation for Sunday. Thankfully, it's a Sunday, not a Saturday. And I haven't obviously seen any of their Portland game, but having been involved in a lot of Seattle-Portland rivalry games, I can imagine that they're feeling it, maybe and hopefully more than what we did in the way that the game went. So we've got to rest up over the next couple of days and then get ready for Sunday, because now Sunday's the most important game.